I had an opportunity to listen to Chris Hicks make a very interesting presentation to the Ohio School Board earlier this month. Chris is an outspoken government ethics and integrity activist from Claremont County. He is an independent business consultant who has worked with companies like Samsung, Dell, IBM, and SAP on sales channel growth in over 50 countries. He's a big MAGA supporter, and he's worked with something um, that he's created called Contract with the District, which is a tool to better understand local school board candidates' positions on key issues. Chris is active in Claremont County politics. He's prevailed in a lot of legal cases where he has fought corruption, which is so important. And he's been involved in convictions of several elected officials. And one thing I want to say about that, all you who watched the first part, two things. Whatever you do on the petition signing, don't cut corners. Don't sign and say that you don't, if you didn't see the person sign it, don't sign the affidavit that says you saw them, because you're opening yourself up for trouble. But Chris has got his Hicks Watchdog Facebook page, and he's a well-known source of information on politics. So Chris Hicks, welcome to Empower You. It's good to have you.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. I'm going to share a screen because I put together a couple quick things here, and I'm going to try to go really fast. Let me know that it's working okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so because we have Brendan Shea, who's patiently waiting, who's a member of the State Board of Education, and I think we'll all want to really hear from him about how important it is for local school boards. So I'm going to talk about Contract with the District very quickly. So Contract with the District is giving you a tool to go drive accountability of your existing school board members and other people that are running for school board or want to run for school board. So it's a 10-point contract, think a Newt Gingrich contract with America, that it focuses on 4 things that a school board member or a candidate will say that they're going to support and fight for, and 6 things that they say they're going to fight against. I'm not even going to read off all the points here. I'm going to tell you how to get to this and how to learn more about it. But for example, the things for support and fight for are things like academic excellence being the #1 measurement, keeping accelerated programs, fair and balanced presentation of American history, parents' right to know before their kids get any counseling or treatments, etc. Financial integrity. The oppose or against are things that you would think would be in a conservative-leaning contract like this. Critical race theory, 1619 Project, comprehensive sexuality education, those kind of things. So the contract is a way for you to go to a school board meeting or find a candidate and say, hey, here's 10 points. Go to public participation at a school board meeting, read the 10 points, ask the school board members to sign off that they agree. And because they're politicians, even if they're just school board members, there's actually 2 versions. There's a version that I had up on the screen that was, I agree with everything. There's another version where they can actually indicate what things out of the 10 they agree with and what they don't, and they can provide additional information. I actually know a school board member who's very conservative, but he's not going to check all 10 things because there's one that he doesn't like the wording of, so he can check 9 of them and he can then provide some additional explanation. So this document is called the Contract with the District, and it's a tool that we really need to use to get these people to be on the record and accountable. These school board races are under the radar, and most people don't even know who's on their school board. Most people haven't been to a school board meeting. And although Tom Hack, who did an excellent job, pointed out that this is kind of the entry point for most people into the political world, there is not a single elected office that is more important on the local level than school board, because it is determining how kids, the next generation of Americans, are being educated. And so I can't emphasize enough how important school boards are and how important it is for you to, step 1, get your existing school board members to be accountable, and step 2, to run if they are not, or find people. Now, I did a thing 2 days ago with Chris Dorr of Ohio Gun Owners, where we spent over an hour going through each of the 10 points of the contract in pretty good detail, talking about them. And I know you might not be able to see this, but you'll be able to see it in the replay. There's the link to it, but it's on the Ohio Gun Owners webpage. And obviously, those of you that know Chris Dorr, it's a Second Amendment group, but they're realizing our constitutional rights are at risk if our kids are not getting good education in schools and true education in schools. So we spent a lot of time talking about it. And then, as Dan mentioned, I spoke about it in some depth at the State Board of Education, last State Board of Education meeting. And what was 5 minutes of participation ends up to be about 35 minutes of questions about it. So it's I think it's, most people that have watched it think it's entertaining to watch and to see how different school board members react to this idea of accountability. And the fun part too, Dan, I know you'd appreciate this, is I go out of my way to avoid saying the banned words at the State School Board of Education. You are not allowed to say, and what's totally an affront to the Constitution, you are not allowed to say critical race theory or 1619 project while presenting at the State Board of Education. And think about that. If you believe in liberal education and what a State Board of Education should stand for, it's obscene that they will not allow certain words to be said. So the last thing, there's the contract. I know Dan's got it hosted or is having it hosted with this. There's a couple other places to get the contract. And then I put down my email down at the very bottom of this, chris@hicksperience.com, chris@hicksperience.com. But you can also go to hickswatchdog.com, which will take you to my Facebook page, and you can message me there, or you can see my email address there. So I tried to go super fast, Dan, because I want to make sure that Brendan Shea gets a chance to talk and give an update about the State Board of Education. So thank you for having me on tonight.
Yeah, and Chris, one thing, would you send me that link to that interview you did, please? I'll put that up on the empoweruohio.org website. I also just want to throw out that Chris's 10 ideas are ideas you all should be thinking about if you're thinking about incorporating some of them into your platform. So I want you to at least drill down and look at the document he's designed. You can get that off empoweruohio.org or on the other sites that Chris mentioned. Chris Hicks.
It does, Dan, real quick, I think it does a good job at laying out the 10 critical points that are really the fulcrum upon which our educational system is sitting right now. So I think you're spot on that people could look at this for ideas for a platform.
It's amazing. It's amazing to me, Chris, that at a time when our legislature is looking at legislation on critical race theory, that the Ohio State School Board will not accept any testimony on
Right.
the exact same thing. I need everybody to think about that. That's the state you're living in.